It feels so long since we've done this.
We're amateurs.
And harassed by the cops.
Son of
I've got a glass full of bourbon.
hog juice.
Popping and crackling.
As always,
Oh, I got one.
some rum.
Depends on how cool your doctor is.
Yeah, just four
Oh,
dudes.
man. That's fantastic.
Hey.
They need to make podcast equipment more expensive. Welcome
Shout out
to
Eli.
the XYZ podcast. This is episode
Sorry.
53. I'm millennial producer Tony, joined as always with the host, Gen X Brian
Hey, guys.
and Gen Z Winston.
What's my catchphrase? What's my line again? What it do?
What
This is the
does it
2-year anniversary of
do?
the podcast. We've only been doing it for that long. We still don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Fun
It's
start to
between
the
me
show.
interrupting and forgetting my own line. It's hilarious.
It feels like it has been a minute since we've done this, man. It has been quite. I feel like it's been really a long time.
It's
Yeah.
been a while. Congratulations on us for making it 2 years.
Throw stuff on the back.
So I hope everybody enjoyed to look back at episode 1. We're gonna try to make it relevant and kind of talk about some of it. It's been a while. Maybe go over some of the same things again and see what's changed in the past couple of years.
It was 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say we miss it because of the tariffs, man. Everything was way too expensive. Maybe the microphone equipment would be a lot more expensive this time around. Yeah, prevent
Maybe.
some competition or something.
Good thing we got in when we did.
yeah, I know, right?
Oh man, episode 1 aired. That's funny. That was a time capsule from 2 years ago.
yeah.
We talked a lot about playing video games and being outside.
Right. Oh, so
which-
nothing changes.
Yes, it did remind me of a couple stories. My parents used to be like, I go outside. So I had a similar experience to you, Winston, where it's just like, we got video games and they're like, get out of the house, please, please go. We would just take our Game Boys and go outside. We go, oh, okay, well, can't game in the house, game out the house though.
Oh wait, hold on real quick, Tony. I don't think we're live. Like actually,
Oh,
I'm on our page and it's not live. Podcast XYZ is offline. Wow, 2 years later.
Failure to launch.
it's been a while. No one heard any of this. Welcome to the XYZ podcast. Take 2. I'm millennial producer Tony. This is episode 53. I'm joined as always by Gen X Brian
Hello, everybody. Again.
and Gen Z Winston.
What it do?
The
Again.
other intro is staying in. I don't care. It's recording on our other recording. Don't care. It was too good to leave. We'll just listen. Live people miss some of that. Both of these are in. I don't care.
Yeah.
Leave both in. I'm going right back into my conversation.
Yeah.
I like where we're at. This makes
Right.
perfect sense 2 years in. My brother will make fun of me because
That's a good place to start a story.
Some people
You know.
don't
just
Yeah.
I'm going right back. I don't even care. I don't care. Listen, I'm having a drink. We're all having a good time.
Yeah.
My parents would be like, hey, go outside, no playing
Yeah.
video games. And we'd go outside and, we played in the woods and stuff. We talked like, go outside
Yeah.
and hit things with sticks.
Found a box of nudie mags.
No, we never did that. We were real lame. Like there was like a big dirt pile in the woods. We're like, this is our base.
Of course.
Yeah. We're like, ooh, dirt pile base.
Yeah.
But I would get like 10 or 15 minutes into this and I'd be like, I gotta go and I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then like 30 minutes later, my brother'd come wandering in. He's like, where did you go? And I'm inside playing video games again. Yeah, I was like, I just left you outside. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
That
so
was
terrible.
that was your out, huh? That was like
Yeah.
your cover line.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
And
It's
he'd
like,
be like,
yeah,
what
so
a
he's
jerk.
like-
you should just lie about it.
Yeah. It's like the 4th time you have to use the bathroom this week.
Gross.
Yeah,
got
every time you go
digestive
outside,
issues.
you gotta go back in.
It's like IBS.
Yeah.
That's gross.
We also talked a lot on episode 1 about we talked about codes. We talked about cheat codes.
Right.
We talked about downloading music, mentioned, like the thing where everybody there was a bunch of things that everybody just kind of knew. One of them was being, you blow in your Nintendo cartridge.
Oh, that's right.
Blow in a cartridge, it makes it work. There were a
Oh.
few other things that I wanted to mention that we never got around to that I'm like, these were like playground rumors that
Oh, yeah?
everybody, they weren't even true necessarily, but everybody knew them.
Yeah. I
Does
mean, we
anybody
talked
wanna
about the
take-
rib cage one, right?
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
That was one I was going to bring up.
It was Marilyn.
Not real. The other one was Richard Gere
And the gerbil.
and the gerbil.
What happened with Richard Gere and the gerbil?
Brian?
Oh man, yeah. Why was that a rumor?
I don't know.
Why? Yeah, there was.
Again, it just go completely untrue.
Yeah, somebody just made this up, and it's so weird that it was repeated hundreds of times. Let's just say that yes, there was a rumor that involved Richard Gere getting intimate with some gerbils. That's about as as much I want to.
Gerbils like to tunnel. He had a tunnel that he put his gerbil in. There was a South Park episode about it.
Yeah,
there is a South Park episode.
Let me winks.
Oh, so this is how Winston now knows about that. This was that was based on a real thing or
That's crazy.
A real rumor, and it was just
so weird.
Yeah, it was and it was in a movie. What was it, like Scream or something? There's a line where they say like you can only hear the Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you start believing it.
I mean, you can only hear that Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to start believing it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but there you go, man. It wasn't Family Guy this time. It was South Park that brought Winston.
South Park. Yeah.
Chat mentions with his then wife Cindy Crawford.
She was involved somehow.
She was the one to put it in.
she facilitated.
Yeah.
It was her idea.
Oh my god, it's such a detail. I looked up the Gerbil King
Really?
from South Park, and it's like an animation of the gerbil crawling through his rectum.
Oh my god!
The episode, the gerbil Lemmywinks turns into like a fantasy adventurer, and he like meets like a frog wizard in there, and he's having a whole adventure through the whole episode. Yeah.
So when you saw that, Winston, did you have any idea why it was?
No. I just saw it just now. I haven't seen the episode. I haven't watched South Park in years, so I was like, now it's even funnier to kind of like go back and watch it with the context, I feel.
Is a South Park, is that a demographic? Like I remember watching that when it first came out, but I don't know. It seemed like it kept trying to it was trying so hard to be shocking. I was not it was lame to me.
I think South Park is one of those shows that's just not gonna die anytime soon. Like they actually has enough material for this new season to do one full season instead of a half season like they'd had for like the last 6 years or whatever. I don't know. I feel like South Park have like some hidden gems here and there. Now I have been missing out, so I can't say for sure.
Because it is like, do you outgrow South Park? Is that like?
Yeah. No, listen, man, you didn't even see it. I was streaming the South Park game on this channel for a while. Didn't even finish it. I got like maybe 2 sessions in. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Tony's in chat like, man, this guy Winston's really suck at video games.
You're like, well, I never claimed otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah, watch Winston suck at video games.
But I think one of the first topic, or not in the first episode, but we did talk about like flash mobs, right? Like at some point. That's why I put my username as that. Did you know flash mob is back? There was like a video of a flash mob happening. Like literally the other day, it was in California. It was at one of those shopping area in LA, and it was like it was a group of people, and obviously it started out with the one guy, and it was a speaker, and he's playing that anxiety song by Doechii, which by the way suck ass. Not a good song. Anyway, the guy is like, he's coming up to people, he's trying to get them to dance, and obviously people is like shaking their hand and like walking away. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's like 10 other people jump in and they start dancing. And it's I have this written down as my note, but I think it's really funny. It says here, flash mob is a recession indicator.
Ooh, that might be true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what's the last time? Yeah.
When you have to make your own fun instead of buying it, it might be.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's like you gotta start doing stuff like that for money, man. They finish dancing, put a hat out.
I just got a question for you here. You just want to tap on the screen?
That's it. Yeah.
If you enjoyed today's performance, show us some love.
Well, another thing we talked about that I thought was funny, because we've talked about it recently-ish, was listening parties.
Oh, that's right.
And I just went looking for it, and I can't find where it was. We sort of made
if you think about it. If you
sort of made fun of Brian for being like, oh yeah, everyone would just come over and
just chill in the dark listening to music,
bopping
their head.
Hey man, it was a good time.
No, hold on. I will say something. Technically, isn't the 4 people in chat in a listening party right now?
Technically.
Except we're not debuting our CD.
Yeah.
But we talked about it in the first episode when it was the beginning of ragging on Winston for not seeing things.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's when we found out that he had not seen the Wizard of Oz.
That's it.
We have since rectified that. He has seen the old Wizard of Oz, the new Wizard of Oz, and the first part of Wicked.
Yep, that's it.
Now we have to put you on record.
Uh-huh.
Wicked would not have made any sense if you had not seen Wizard of Oz.
Yes and no. I feel like I can go into it watching it just by itself. I genuinely think so. I genuinely think.
Don't you feel better about knowing the backstory?
I do feel better. No, I definitely feel better knowing the story because it's just like, wow, why was she so evil? And then it's like, she wasn't evil. What? You know, like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
That's Winston's review right there. That's nice.
Yeah, that's. Let me hold on. Let me see what. Oh, I didn't even read my review to you, Brian, but I told it to Tony. So my review on Letterboxd was I was like, my favorite scene in the movie is when, what's his name? Bach? What's his name?
Bach.
Yeah, when Bach left his wife and kid to get with Glinda, because that's what happened in real life. Ariana Grande was on set, and the guy that played Bach actually left his wife and kid to date Ariana Grande, which I thought was really funny.
She's a homewrecker, huh?
Yeah, she sure is. Now they're engaged, so is she really, or is she just rebuilt? She's a fixer-upper.
She's a flipper.
Yeah, she's a flipper. I thought the movie was really good. We did a stream of it. We watched it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Chat saying they're not even together anymore.
Oh, no way. There's no way.
At least they don't think they are. Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta get your celebrity gossip right, Winston.
Yeah, I'm not a teenage girl in in my teens years, so.
But listen, with the recession looming, could listening parties make a comeback?
Could be the move.
I just spent my weekend cataloging my vinyl collection. Just so I know what I have when I go out shopping for stuff, and in case something should happen, I have a record of it. But I'm just like, I was listening to the episode. I'm going, could I trick my friends into coming over and just listening to music? Could I do that?
I don't know. I think it'd have to be explicitly expressed, because after a while people will be like, why are we just sitting here? This is weird.
Yeah, I guess. I bet you it would be one of those things. You invite people over, it's like late at night, you kind of run out of things to talk about. You're like, I just go put a record on. I think you could get away with it. I think you could get away with it, but it would have to be in the right circumstance.
Right, but I feel like the record will only serve as background music rather than like a listening.
Like everybody's quiet
session.
and listen.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't know, because like sometimes when I had friends over, I would like put like music on and we'll kind of just sit there and chat. But yeah, it's not like something.
And you're like, it's Stairway to Heaven. Got to listen to Stairway to Heaven.
My friends are Asian. I don't think they'll listen to Stairway to Heaven anytime soon.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I know, right? We're listening to Highway to Hell instead. But yeah, no,
that's true. That's a good callback, isn't it? Oh no, wait, that was not the first MP3 you downloaded, Winston.
No,
was it Back in Black?
It was Back in Black.
Okay,
but yeah,
right.
by AC.
Not Highway to Hell. Yes, by
no, not Highway to Hell.
AC/DC.
Yeah, by AC/DC.
By AC/DC.
No, but yeah, no. Wait, I told you guys. I think I mentioned it before, but like I got my MP3 like robbed with like 100 song on there that I would never get back like ever again, and I'm so
Somebody
mad.
Stole your MP3 player?
Yeah, man. Had this kid came over my house. We were kids. Took my MP3 straight from my like my desk. I literally like pinned him against the wall at school. Like, where the fuck is my MP3? So I didn't take it, man. I was like, I know you did, because nobody else like came to my house and take shit like that. It was like this. It was weird. It was like I barely hang out with this kid, but one day he was like, hey, can I stop by and like borrow your homework? I was like, sure, why not? So he came in and literally grabbed my MP3 and left. But yeah, it wasn't like an iPod or anything. It was like a tiny little recorder. Had a lot.
What happened to that guy?
Based on Winston's past stories, I have a feeling that he became best friends with this kid.
Yeah.
No, actually,
I always pathway to be friends with Winston.
No, man, right. This kid was like
he's
a little rat, man. I freaking hate him. Like he's
a little rat man. No, he's a little like Stuart Little rat.
Yeah,
man?
sort of.
Oh, okay.
His face looked like a rat. It was real like pointy, you know. I don't know. He always had a mohawk too for whatever reason. Just thought that was cool back in the day. But yeah,
man, you
Yeah,
made
he
Tony
was-
spit out his juice.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost choked.
That was funny.
But anyway, it was cool, man. It lit up and everything was white and blue. So it was fully white, but the screen was blue. You remember back in the day when the screen was so small, the text has to run as like you're listening to the
That's a
song.
scroll.
That's a
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
scroll,
yeah,
right?
that's it. It was like it take like forever to see
Yeah.
Back in Black. It's like, who's this by? AC/DC.
No, wait till the next chorus.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
that
hang on,
was-
hang on. It's going by in black. Hang on. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
AC/DC.
That's it.
I got all kind of my stuff on my list. I've been racking
yeah.
stuff up. I
have a
do
lot
want
more
to
stuff,
before I
too.
get to any of my stuff. I'm going to get to one of Brian's things. On our last regularly scheduled episode, there were stories being told, and then at one point in time, Brian goes, what was I talking about? I said I was going to say something.
Right.
Brian, you had a valet story that you wanted to tell.
Oh, valet.
I, for one, would like to hear it.
No, it's not that great of a story, other than the fact that when I moved to this town and was
Mhm.
getting started as a youngster in Atlanta, fighting my
Yeah.
way in the big city, I was looking for jobs, and one of them was a valet.
Mhm.
You know, I'm figuring, okay, that's, you probably work your tail off.
You're like,
That's-
I know how to drive.
yeah, I can park cars and I can walk fast.
Yeah.
So that seemed like okay, that would be a job that you could take. You wouldn't have it forever, but you could probably make some decent money in a shorter amount of time,
Mhm.
And so it was just in order to, because you had to get a certified copy of your driver's clearance for the state, and you had to provide all this documentation basically to prove that you were a good driver. And as I was a broke person, I didn't have money it was like $45 to get the certified copy of your driver's, release from the state. And yeah.
Couldn't you just turn in a resume that said, "Hey, I worked at the rental car place in Orlando, and I'm very familiar with driving cars in
Right.
parking lot."
yeah. There you
Give
go.
me the job.
Yeah.
But alas, it was just, I was attempting to have a employment as a valet, but I did not have the proper, I was an undocumented worker. So I could not get the job parking cars.
In this economy, they would have sent you to El Salvador or something, Brian, to park cars. It's like he has a low melatonin to him. Yeah, get him out of here.
But yes, that was it. I'm sorry it wasn't
Okay.
that funny.
I thought it was gonna be funnier. Buddhist
It
guy.
was I had no expectations for the story, but that's the true story though.
It's not a dangling thread now.
No,
so.
Right.
it is not. It's that loophole is closed with lackluster.
Well, welcome to the show, folks.
Yeah.
It's 2 years.
I was gonna say I have topics that I want to talk about.
You want to hit one then?
Sure. I have here on my note financing a 3-piece tender combo.
Okay.
So I'm sure you guys already seen it, but did you see that I think it's Klarna or Afterpay just signed a contract with DoorDash or Uber or something to
What's
where now
Klarna? What's
Klarna?
Klarna? Yeah,
Is
I've
it?
seen that,
Yeah.
but what is it? It's
You got to
So-
take pills for that.
it's so Klarna, so Klarna is like an Afterpay kind of
twice a day,
payment.
Klarna.
Ask your doctor about Klarna.
See if Klarna is right for you.
Don't take Klarna if you're taking other medications.
Oh, side effects include bleeding rectum.
1 out of 10 people you love is taking Klarna. Anyway,
we're gonna get a cease
Yeah,
and desist from
yeah.
Klarna for misrepresenting them,
It's okay. We can pay it off in 4 installments.
Oh yeah.
which ties it back to your topic, Winston.
So Klarna is an Afterpay kind of payment system that you could use on a lot of big purchases. It's sort of like a credit card company, but not really a credit card per se. But normally you would kind of use it for stuff like if you buy a TV or if you want to buy I don't know, something a little expensive where you can split your payment over.
So
a
basically,
course.
it offers you the option to split up your payments, and then I
Yeah.
guess you give them a little chunk of it for the.
I don't know. Is there even an interest on it?
I mean, why else would they do that? They're essentially lending you money.
I almost feel like they're just doing it to. No, man. See, if you pay in 4, if you split purchases to 4 interest-free payment, then you're good. So you're gonna have to pay them every 2 weeks. But if you pay in 30-day, then after that, that's also with no interest. But if you pay per monthly, the interest rate goes from 9.99 to 29.99, which is actually insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also say that, but my credit card APR is like 23%. It's the Apple one, which is insane, by the way. Anyway, so they had a contract signed with like food delivery services. Can I finance a 3-piece combo from like from Zaxby or something? Pay all 12.
It's sad that the price is so high that you need to.
Yeah, that's it. I'm on my last payment of my 3-piece. I'm ready to be debt free, guys. Yeah, I can afford the burger. Let me get extra sauce on there.
You go, do you wanna make that a large? Go, let me check with Klarna.
No, with Klarna, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
I'll pay that off in 4 weeks.
So do you get charged more? Like, don't they have to take a cut? Isn't that
half the time when you're ordering stuff through DoorDash and Uber Eats, the price is already raised. But it's weird. I genuinely think they're just selling your information to the black market. Because it's like, what do you mean for free? Like for interest-free payment? It just doesn't sound right to me. But also, what kind of fat ass do you have to be to like credit a meal?
It's I mean, we've reached peak laziness, man.
I almost feel like it's easier to ask somebody for $12 to buy dinner than to just like finance a meal.
You can't be bothered to pay for it all now or go get it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I can't pay for it and I can't go get it.
Great, we've got a deal for you.
This was targeted for people that's like have mobility issue and can't work. I genuinely think that's what this is targeting.
Could be.
Yeah. Or it could be somebody who's real fat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys ever seen that? Like, it's gotta be like top 10 favorite show, man. My 600-Pound Life. You guys ever heard of this?
Yeah.
That'll be top 10 TV show, man.
Oh.
I have like yeah, I know, man. I have like this. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to watch this terrible like reality TV.
When's the last time you watched that show, though?
I don't know, man. I watch clips of it on TikToks here and there. Like, I don't ever actually sit down and watch this stuff. But like, there was a clip where this girl came in and she was like, "I think I'm pregnant," and her friend's like, "Bitch, you're not pregnant. You're just fat." Which I think is amazing. Yeah.
That's from My 300-Pound Life.
600-Pound.
600 pounds.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Double that.
Listen, man, there's this one doctor that always shows up. It's great, man. He's this older, like, Indian gentleman. And he's like the one doctor that the TV show is able to hire. So he's like in every episode, it's like every 600-pound person goes to this guy. And he always have this disappointing look on his face when he sees these people. But yeah, so even Sunny's in chat said no. She said no, you just thirsty. That was the line. She was like, yeah, I think I'm pregnant. I've been craving a lot of weird stuff that I haven't been craving. And it was like, oh yeah, what kind of stuff have you been craving? She goes, water. And then her friend goes, but you're not pregnant, you're just thirsty. But it's stuff like that that's great. There's this new show that I found out recently on TikTok, Married at First Sight.
Buried?
Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Have you heard of the show, Tony?
This has been on forever, right?
Has it?
People like they just like choose somebody and like, blam, you're married.
Nah, right? Man, this is worse. This is coming straight out of New Zealand and Australia, so you don't always. The same people. I'm assuming it's probably the same people that made that Down for Love show. Don't quote me on that. But I saw this clip, man. It's great. It was this guy. He's in his full suit. He's standing. You're standing at the altar here. It's like you're ready to get married. Like there's people in attendance. So he's standing there at the altar. You know, he randomly just turned his head around and you see this girl with you know, blonde hair and like she's in this orange dress start walking up with a flower. So he turns to her, he goes, "Wow, you're gorgeous." And then she just took a seat. Like she was a bridesmaid the whole time. The actual bride came out and just looked at her and was like, "Oh."
Winston, your audio cut out. That was very funny. I didn't.
Yeah. He just looked at her. He just looked at her and said, "Oh." Great TV, man. I love it. That's the type of stuff I'm into nowadays. But anyway, that was.
So now you get those clips. Like, who's putting those clips on TikTok?
Oh, half the time it's the actual channel. It's like TLC is. But listen, if you ever go on Facebook, TLC would upload a full 20-minute episode of My 600-Pound Life, and you could just sit there and rot for the 20 minutes straight. Great.
Because they're desperate for views.
Oh, yeah. Like who's paying for cable anymore? So obviously they don't have anybody watching it.
Right.
They got
but
you
anyway.
watching it, man.
Yeah, I know they freaking caught me. But
Speaking of depressing things and how old our podcast is now, I had a birthday recently, and my one of my grandmothers very sweetly called me up to wish me happy birthday, and decided to tell me that she goes, how old are you? I went, 37 now. She goes, that's how old I was when you were born. And I'm like,
thanks.
What? I'm like, well, that was okay. Yeah, great. That's continue on my day.
What do you want me to do with this information?
Yeah, I was just like, that's interesting. And now now I do feel old. Thank you. I didn't before.
To be fair, it was a different time though, you know?
Yeah. My mom had me when she was younger. So it's not like I understand that, but I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a milestone that I was reaching, and I didn't need to know. But thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Time
hilarious.
marches on, man.
Yeah, that's how it is. I think you know what you gotta do now. You gotta adopt a pet, man. You just gotta get a pet and be like, this is my child. Like I feel like, you know what I mean?
I don't need to buy something to kill it. It's okay.
I don't think you'd kill it. I think it would eventually die. That's a little less depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think you could like maybe like a fish?
We've talked about my fish that I had growing up. He lived forever.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like,
fish.
But it's still work. It's still work. You gotta clean the bowl. You gotta feed it. I don't need all that anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's like extra stuff.
You know, give me a Tamagotchi. I can deal with that one.
Ooh, get you a Nintendo? Oh my god, we should bring Nintendo back.
What was the Nintendo?
Wait, Brian, I'm surprised your kids never had. Your kid had a Nintendo growing up, right? Like a DS or like right? Yeah, like a Nintendo DS.
Switch.
No, not the Switch. Did they ever have the Nintendo DS where it's like the 2 screen?
No.
Back in the day, you could get a Nintendo DS with this game called Nintendo, where you have a virtual dog that you get to play with and take care of, and it's on this little screen. And because it's touchscreen, you can put your hand on it and pet them, and they would like flip, on all fours and stuff. It's great.
And the same thing. See how long you get, how happy you can keep it alive.
It doesn't die, so that's the best part because it's not very family friendly. If it did, but
it doesn't matter if you don't take care of it at all; it'll still be.
Oh,
thriving.
it'll still come back. Yeah, and it's a forever puppy. It's great. They don't ever grow old. It's amazing. But yeah,
zero responsibility for its life. You just okay. That was the DS.
That was the DS. Did you, Tony? You know how we talked earlier about like. Back in the day, you would have to blow in the cartridge and then like plug it back in, and it automatically works. Mm-hmm. So I was watching Sonic 3 the other day, and there was a scene in the movie where these, they're breaking into like this corporate building, and they had to stick a USB into the server tower so that they can like take down the biometrics and all that. And they're like, well, it's in. Why is it not working? And then the guy was like, duh. And he took it out and blew on it and then plugged it back in. And sure enough, it works. It was like, yeah. And it was like, we don't know why it does. It just works. And I'm like, it's a great, what's it called? Little reference. Yeah.
I understand that reference.
Right.
I think that's what we've come to learn in the last few years is that Winston will eventually get a lot of the references back in a backwards way.
Well, that's what happened when you hang out with old people enough, right?
Backwards references, history in reverse.
No, that's it.
Did either of you have Tamagotchis though?
No,
I always wanted one. I never got one. You had it, right? Like you had like
I had like a knockoff one. My parents wouldn't buy us like the name brand one. But what I always wanted was a Digimon.
Ooh,
like the original Digimon was just Tamagotchi. It was a Tamagotchi. Yeah. It was a little rectangle, and you had some buttons on the side, and you fed it, and it
evolves, Brian. So
evolved, it's like and then they had like little metal connectors on the top. So what you do is you take yours and connect it to your friend, and then they'd fight.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't know that.
It was great. And in 5th grade, it was the thing. Like
So
you
wait,
weren't
did you
allowed to
have the
have them, so
Digimon?
everybody would hide them, and then it would be like, all right, line up. We're all, it's time for, they take the class down the hallway to the bathroom. It's like everybody had this time to go, and I just remember all the boys would go to the bathroom and pull out the Digimons, and everybody's pushing buttons. They're like, if there's combinations that didn't do anything. They're like, oh, if you do this, then you'll win, and everybody go to the bathroom and play Digimon.
No, that's hilarious.
People were figuring out. It's like, oh, if you keep the plastic tab from a new one where it separates the battery before it turns on, if you put the tab back in to turn it off and hold buttons down and then turn it on, it'll start at a higher level stage instead of making it grow.
Was that true?
Talk about cheat codes. That was the height of it, man.
So wait, hold on. So Tony, is that how Digimon started? Like as a virtual pet?
In America, as far as I remember, that's what they were. And then the anime started, and then the next version of the little digital pet looked like a Digivice.
Oh, okay.
That was the one that I had. I never had an original.
So when I was growing up, I always thought Digimon was sort of like a knockoff of Pokemon. I mean, even in the name, you hear the Mon thing, you're like, oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's why I always thought they were like a card game or something. I never knew it was like it started out as a toy, which I thought that's pretty cool.
I think so. Yeah. Me and my friends were into both. I was in the nerd group of friends. Like they were very into anime in the 90s as it was getting big. Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, Pokemon. Right. Yeah.
That's Balls. Brian's like, what is this?
Okay. This makes me think of another thing that I have on my list. Maybe I'll bring it up.
Dragon Balls.
I was watching something and there was a discussion going on about truck nuts.
Truck nuts?
Do you know what truck nuts are?
Is it like the actual nutsack that they hang off the back of the truck? Yeah. What does that even do? Like, what does it mean?
It makes you into a douchebag. It's a magical totem that makes you a douchebag.
Totem scrotum.
It's always a metal one too, right? Yeah, the silver one.
Can we trademark that?
Yeah.
But I was just going, is there a female equivalent
of like a truck nut?
Yes. And what would it be?
I would hope not.
Yeah. Well, half the time I would see like girls' car would they would bedazzle their car, which is crazy. Have you seen bedazzled car, Brian?
Yeah, the thing that kills me is the eyelashes on the headlights.
Oh. That's it. Yeah.
Especially on like a VW Bug.
Yeah.
That's the best I could come up with.
Yeah. I always wonder like who's the type of person that does this to a car? Like
there's an audience.
Yeah, like did they buy the car and it came with it? Or did they go out of their way to buy it and put it on?
Yeah, they're hitting up the AutoZone.
Yeah. I was gonna say another thing that like sort of say douchebag when I see it on somebody's car. It's a giant sticker of Salt Life on the back of it.
We've talked about the Salt Life.
The friggin' Salt Life sticker, man. You just know you're about to get cut off in traffic every time.
Yo, bro, I'm all about that Salt Life.
Yeah,
mine really is. It's like if I see a marathon magnet, the 26.
Yeah.
It's like if I see one of those, it's like, okay, that's awesome. If I see more than one, I'm going, what are you doing?
You're just
you're not showing off. You're just being obnoxious now.
Yeah. My personal one that I hate is the one that the parents always put in their car. My child is a part of the National Honor Society. I'm like, yeah, you got fucking scammed, buddy. I did it too. I also got scammed.
Yep. I was gonna say, did your parents get the bumper sticker?
My parents never put it on. They knew it was a scam. They still gave me $50 for it. And I'm like, as long as you're happy, man. I was like, thanks.
Are you guys bumper sticker guys?
No. I would never put bumper sticker on my car.
I don't don't understand it. I've got some magnets on mine.
Yeah.
But the magnets come off.
Yeah.
If I need to sell my car,
if
I need to sell my car, the magnets come off of it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like like one or two sticker, I can get it, like a maybe new driver or a baby on board sticker. Totally get it. But then once you get into the territory of like putting 3 or 4 plus, my favorite one, the monster logo. on the back of the car.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude, this guy freaking rocks. Like, ooh.
Kyle's truck is looking
Yeah.
awesome.
It's save some cooch for the rest of us, Kyle. Shit.
I got a big problem with the like student driver stickers and magnets.
I saw you had,
Why?
you had a very strong reaction to the baby when
Because-
you said baby on board.
Anybody can just buy them.
Yeah.
And that just makes you an a-hole.
Why?
I think because I just assume
Uh-huh.
that if you have it on there, you're not a student driver. I automatically assume you're
Yeah.
just an a-hole. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, I don't believe anything that's going on here.
But what
None
if you
of it.
drive past and it looks like there's a child in the driver's seat?
The baby on board is
Why would-
is
why would a
different. I'm talking
child-
student driver?
No, that's what I mean. A student driver would look
Yeah.
like a child
Yeah.
in the car.
Yeah, but there's too many times. I would say 90% of the time I'm driving past and it's like a 75-year-old man. And I'm just going, no.
You are
Well,
not
he's
new.
driving at the same skill level.
You got
And
your
so-
you got
Yeah.
your driver license during the Kennedy administration.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's
it's kind of the same
hilarious.
thing. Take caution. This was
Yeah.
this person. I mean, especially in this town, man.
Yeah.
People drive
Um,
like crazy people here.
Oh, before we move on, my answer was mud flaps.
Mud
What
flaps.
do you mean?
Okay,
Mud
yeah.
flaps for girls? Like the
If there
equivalent?
was a car truck nut equivalent,
Uh-huh.
just go this, inappropriate, I would say mud flaps.
Where,
enough.
Where
Yeah.
did truck nuts come up in the first place?
In another podcast.
To be honest, if I did have a truck, I would also put truck nuts on it. I don't know. I feel like you play
It's
into the
gross.
stereotype, you know?
It's gross. It's gross, man.
It
It's
wouldn't
gross.
be even right, but it would be even better if I had a lifted truck. And so
I was
when
gonna
it's-
say it's gotta be a jerk truck. It's gotta
Yeah.
have a lift
Yeah.
kit, it's gotta have lights underneath, like
That's
it's just
it.
gotta be obnoxious.
Listen,
Yeah.
I gotta be able to blind 10 people when I'm driving at night on the highway. Otherwise, I'm not doing
mean,
it right.
If
You
you're
want-
gonna
you
overcompensate,
putting KC lights on the top of it too?
overcompensate.
Oh yeah, I got the freaking
of
light
course.
bars at the
Oh, yeah.
top. Yeah, that's it. Got some got that little metal front, like what's the thing that the police have on their car at the front? What are those things called?
Cow catcher.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, one of those. Whatever
like
that
it's
is.
a freaking train engine. Oh,
You gotta
Yeah.
clear the cows out of the tracks, man.
Yeah, man, gotta do
Yeah.
something. But but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Go
One
ahead.
thing that came up on the first episode was Napster.
Right.
And it's pretty hilarious because Napster just sold for
No way.
$207 million.
Why didn't they just download it?
I forget who bought it, but somebody they just had a massive sale of Napster. I was surprised that Napster was still around.
yeah, is anybody using it? Like, is it a
Yeah.
streaming service?
I
now?
don't
What is it?
know. Yeah, clearly it's not. If it is, we don't know about it. Or
Hold on, I looked up the article and it was like one of the very first quote. It was like, "I wear this T-shirt when I travel," said John Velopoulos, CEO of Napster, and it's a T-shirt with Napster in bold print. Because everyone's just like, "Why the hell is this guy wearing?" Must be the only person with a Napster tee going around, to be honest.
It's just a streaming service. It
Is
looks
it?
like a knockoff Spotify.
Oh, geez, is it free?
Nope, $11 a month.
Millennial reacts with disbelief at 207 million sale.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Can we get on Napster?
it only
Oh, literally, can we put our
Can
episode on
we-
there?
Yeah, I mean we're on Spotify. Could we get on Napster?
How many scrabbles will we get?
Millions.
Lots. That's bad that the three of us, I mean, more so you guys are exposed to more things than I am on the online. The fact that none of us knew what Napster is doing right now legitimately or has been. Like how has it stayed afloat for 26 years?
To be honest, I almost feel like Napster is it's probably more popular overseas or in country where like say Spotify and Apple Music isn't allowed.
Probably that
Um,
makes sense.
But also I wonder how restricted is their music? You know what I mean? Like what kind of music do they have on here?
It's highly
110
censored.
plus million tracks.
They don't play that devil's music, the rock and roll.
That's it, yeah.
That makes young people want to swing their hip back and forth. That rock
Yeah.
and roll music.
That rock and roll. Yeah, but I never got the chance to use Napster like the rest of you guys.
Well, it quickly improved. Like when I joined the downloading game, there were improvements upon that. So I didn't actually use Napster. I used another one that was just I felt was as good or better.
Didn't you say LimeWire was the one you used?
No, it was
I did.
Yeah, you did.
LimeWire was the easiest one, but LimeWire got messy quick. That's when
Yeah.
that's when everybody figured out how to, people were constantly trying to rickroll you with bad tracks.
So apparently, sorry, hold on. I saw this thing online, and they said that back in the day, say if you were going to college and you were using LimeWire to download music, the school could see that you download illegal music through LimeWire. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean that's why you use VPNs and stuff now. But they monitor traffic. Mhm.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's pretty. Yeah.
But I felt kind of bad listening back to it. It was I made a joke that I don't think anybody understood. There was a lot of
In this
tracks.
episode, we correct that.
Yeah. It's time for that.
Right.
Tony explains his joke.
That's it. So here we are.
It'll be funny this time, I promise. There was a lot of tracks that I would download to be like, you would talk about a Steelers wheel.
Yeah.
Yes, stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that I would download and then I'd play it, and it was just like a Bill Clinton impersonator.
Yeah.
What?
I never heard those. You said that, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like I would play the track. There was no music, and it'd just be like, I did not download this illegally. Or something stupid. It was just like, I just wasted my time. That's not what I wanted.
All right.
Yeah.
This is not.
It's like, well, it wasn't a virus, so I okay. But
you
didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say you probably how was your connection? Like how long did it take to download a song? You do it in minutes?
Oh, we had to still have been on dial-up at that point.
Oh, really? So you really
Well, get off the phone.
You really had to wait then for that to download and then to be disappointed.
I'm pretty sure I ruined a family computer too.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I messed up some stuff.
I almost feel like it's every. I feel like every man go through a life or like a stage in their life where they ruin a family computer. I know I did. I definitely put the virus on my old, like super old computer when I was in Vietnam. My sister had a really cool like PC tower and everything, and she was like, "Well, I got a laptop, so I don't need this anymore." And she was like, "You can have this." I was like, "Great."
Take you to kill it.
Listen, man, 2 weeks at most. I wanted wallpapers. That was like my thing. I wanted to update my wallpapers, and I was like, I wanted a dragon. So I'm constantly like dragon wallpaper, and it's like sometimes like this is like the old Google image where sometimes when you open it up, you can't just download it. You have to like open the website to be able to download the image. Yeah. So every time you open the website, you go to download the image and there's like 10 different download buttons. I'm like, I don't know, I'll just freaking click one until I get it. And so like literally like 2 weeks goes by and like this computer spaz out. Like you could not do anything on it. I remember like double clicking something and then like 10,000 like little windows opened, and you remember they would stack like a snare. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like I was like, well, this thing is broken. And then my friend come over. I was like, yeah, could you like take a look at it? He was a little more computer savvy. He was like, yeah, sure. He turns it on. He goes, yeah, dude, you have a virus for sure. I was like, whatever that means. So we ended up just throwing the whole PC away. But
we ended up taking it out back and shooting it.
Yeah, that's it. We yelled it. But yeah, anyway, that's what we did. Did you get a computer with virus, Brian?
I actually was able to avoid viruses, but I did get hacked.
Really?
Yes. Not sure if I've told this.
Oh
story.
Yeah, is this when you were downloading music and somebody like typed in like a note? It was like, "Hi, Brian" or something like that.
Yeah, so
that was crazy. Yeah,
the way it was like file sharing, and so people would connect to your computer and start downloading stuff. So I would immediately check then to see if they were sharing their library. So like you can download from me if you're sharing your library, kind of thing. It's everybody's got to follow the rules, and that's what makes it work. But this dude was blocking his library, so I'd kick him off from sharing. Then he'd reconnect, and then I'd kick him off again, and I kicked him off like 2 or 3 times because he wasn't sharing anything. And so, yeah, I go in, like take a shower, and I come out of the shower, and my computer's just like, just buzzing, like this big noise. And then that's when I walk over to the printer, and it said, "Not very nice, Brian," was printed out on the printer. That page sitting there. It gave me chills. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was totally freaky. But
so wait, you kicked him out 3 times and didn't bother turning off your computer access? before you took a shower?
I figured he'd no, yeah, because I was downloading stuff and probably people were like, pulling stuff from mine. It was a fairly, I can't remember the name of the program, but it was like way better than Napster because like people, it seemed to be a little bit more of a actual community trying to share music,
Right.
like Napster was like, became free for all, and same thing with LimeWire. It was just like, who knows what you're gonna find.
Right.
But yeah, that was weird. That was totally weird. That freaked me out sufficiently. But luckily, I had a friend who was really, really good with the Windows operating system, and literally was able to go into the registry and remove what didn't need to be there, and
really?
and totally fix the computer. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. My friend Corey was amazing. I was like, he probably took like an hour and a half or something, and he was able to like take the bad parts out of my computer. No,
that's so crazy.
Yeah,
because this is before you can Google things too.
Well, you had Google, but Google wasn't. When did Google start? 2005, 2006.
What year was this?
Or earlier than that, but it
Google,
wasn't really
was
being
Google?
used.
A Googleable Google.
1998 was founded, but doesn't say when it was.
Yeah, Google was not my first search engine.
No, I remember Ask Jeeves.
Ask
2004, Brian. I think it's 2004.
Netscape.
Netscape?
You remember Netscape?
Yeah.
AOL, right?
Well, it was around that time because I think Netscape was the browser, and it had its own thing.
So is that how you got like search the internet for things?
Yeah, you got to remember the internet, like.
So yeah, like that was my thing. Like, if you had a computer issue in the past, how do you even troubleshoot it?
It was a much smaller place, the World Wide Web back then.
Yeah, so there's a distinction to be made between internet and World Wide Web because the internet is it's like everything, and the web is what we think of as the internet. And yeah, back when people first started using the web, it was usually browser based. So yeah, like you would use AOL and the AOL browser to get onto the web. And then you just had access to what AOL gave you access to. So you couldn't access everything on the web if it wasn't part of the AOL ecosystem.
It was just like a big link tree, really.
I see. You would log in, and there was just like buttons to click. And it was like news, sports, entertainment. And it was just like most people didn't understand how it worked, so they were trying to make it easy. And it was just like you just click things. You just click stuff and you find yourself in places reading articles and doing things. It's just like it wasn't. I
always like, if I had a time machine, I feel like that would be such an interesting time for me to go back just so I can see what the old internet was like.
Oh, you'd be so frustrated.
Man, like go back to 2001. I don't know. Like I would want to like see see what the internet was like on September 11th.
Shoot, man. I remember my friend got the first iPhone.
Yeah.
And that thing was like an archaic piece of crap immediately. It was like you understood what it could do. It just didn't do it quickly. The first iPhone was not
was it really that bad? I never got to use one. Or I've seen them. It's the one where it's like gray and black, right?
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah, they weren't great.
Really?
I mean, it was, but I guess you had to have the first one. What was funny is he got it he bought it, and like I think a month later they introduced the iPhone 2, which was like lightning years ahead of the first one.
That's hilarious. He got scammed.
It was just like something. It was like a phone that wouldn't load.
So wait, hold on, Brian. What kind of phone did you use around that time? Like, I don't think we ever talked about that. You had like a BlackBerry or.
Well, I had the Razor.
I was gonna say the Razor.
Those are cool, man.
Everybody had a Razor.
Everybody had a Razor.
Oh, the Razor was awesome.
Classic flip phone, man.
Did you have the matte black one, Brian? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Yeah.
My mom had the freaking mad burgundy red one. Peak, man. Comes with that little like marble shooting game that you can play on it. It's great. You can also play like pool, like eight ball. That's all you needed.
Yeah. See. That's all you needed, man. It was a phone,
Snake,
and a couple of games if you were bored. That's all you
needed. A calculator, like that's all you needed.
T9
Simple
texting.
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't there like I swear there was like a later version of the Razor that came out that comes with a pen? Like I swear there was like
It may have been. I remember most of the pens were BlackBerry stuff.
oh, is it? Okay, okay. Um, but yeah, I always enjoyed like you had a razor too, Tony?
I had a Razor at one point in time. The other phone I have, if you go to our website or if you go to our store,
Yeah.
the pictures of us with stuff, that's my old cell phone that I'm holding.
Still
I'm surprised
holding.
you still have it. It's pretty.
I was surprised that I still had it too.
Oh man, I had one of the Nokias that you see everybody making the memes
Oh, the
about.
blue one?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it's true, man. It was like indestructible. It was like it was perfect. And yeah, you could beat the hell out of it, and it was still fine. Yeah.
It's just I remember it's so funny that I remember going to like Best Buy and stuff and looking at phones at the tail end of the trend of them trying to get smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but cell phones were like, we got to get smaller. Like we started with the big brick,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
brick phones in the 80s, and then it got smaller. You had the razors, and they kept getting thinner and smaller. There was one, it was like the size of a pack of chewing gum,
What?
and it would your little
It's like a
D-pad,
dial, right?
your
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
D-pad basically swiveled, and it
Yes.
swiveled open twice the
Yes.
size. But it
Right.
was still like the width of a pack of gum. So it was like real awkward. I'm just like, they just kept getting smaller and smaller until
The screen.
smartphones started catching on. And they're like, now you got a whole screen. You got to see everything on the screen. They kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger then.
It was I remember like so when I had a phone, it was already touchscreen at this point. It was like 2011, but it was the one where like you would hold it normally and then you could slide it up and then the keyboard would shows up.
Yep.
Super cool, man. I feel like that was peak like inventions for phone, and I really wish we would go back to it at some point. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoy. There was like that one was really cool, and I like the one that Tony said because one of my friend back in seventh grade had it to where it wasn't the one that slide up; it would flip sideways, and it
Yeah.
like goes up. It was like a kick flip. And I'm
Wasn't
like,
that the sidekick? Is that what
is that
was?
what it's called? Sidekick phone? Hold on, let's see. Sidekick. I was thinking it's called like kick flip or something. Yes, it is a sidekick. Yes.
There you go.
Freaking cool, man. I always wanted one of those. Another cool one was the Sony one that basically just looked like a PSP back in the day. It has like you know what I'm talking about, Tony? It has like a
Yes.
little controller stick and everything. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Phone.
Yeah, when games started getting on phones, they're like, "Oh, you can have a controller now."
Yeah, that's the Xperia Play was the Sony phone I'm referring to.
Phones got real wacky.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's something novelty to it though.
There
Like,
was, and then there was those
Oh, yeah.
ones you could get the little add-ons. You clicked to it, and you could have like you could turn it. You know, it had like a projector you could add to. Do you remember those phones? They had like
no, what?
snap-on
That's sick.
pieces.
That's
Oh, I
super
can't-
sick. I don't know. That sounds cool.
I can't
No,
remember. Yeah, my friend had one. I can't remember what they're called though.
Mm. I remember seeing a concept for a phone that was basically like, okay, you have the screen and the board inside, and the back of the phone looked like a punch board. And then you just bought modules to put on it, where it's just like,
Oh,
oh, hey, I take a lot of photos and videos, so I'm going to buy a nicer camera lens to put on here. Or, oh, I don't need that. I'll just have the little camera, but I use it a lot, so I need the bigger battery to stick on the back. It was just like,
I've seen those. Those are cool.
it was like,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
cool concept that never took off. But I was like, yeah, it was a good idea.
yeah.
Like custom
It
order
was
your phone?
modular, Brian. Yeah, it was super
You
modular.
just bought
Yeah.
a bunch of modular pieces for the back of it. Yeah.
I think it was a GoFundMe, not a GoFundMe. It was like an originally like a Kickstarter thing, was it not?
In the very early days for that stuff, maybe. I
Yeah.
remember seeing a video somewhere and I was like, that's cool. I won't buy one, but it's neat.
Yeah. But I was gonna say I feel like iPhone and Apple in general has really like kind of like altered how we see phones because they're not original. They don't do anything interesting with their phone anymore. But like if you look at the stuff that China's doing with their phone, where it's like a giant tablet that folds into a phone, like that's freaking sick, man. Like Samsung has the same thing where it's like a trifold that turns into a phone. But yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that's always cool. But
Foldable screens are weird. Like,
yeah, it's I think it's plastic, right? It has to be plastic too.
it's got to be. And I'm like, is that? I mean, I suppose it can look good, but that's just weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Asian people and their big phones, man. They
I was
love
gonna
it.
say what? Yeah, what's left? I mean, what left? That's why iPhone. I mean, what more can you do?
That's
what
why
more, what more can you do you need to do?
I'm banking on Apple going back to a flip phone, man. I am really banking on it. I genuinely think it would be they would sell them like out like hotcakes if they were to really like do it. I mean, I would want one. I would totally want a flip phone that's an
A
iPhone.
flip phone, but that flips open and then it's a screen. That's the iPhone.
Yeah, totally, man. That would be super sick. But yeah, I think that's what they have to go next. Otherwise, it's just gonna be making the phone bigger and smaller for the next 15 years. Steve Jobs rolling in his grave, but yeah.
That's
Anyway.
like I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going, what else do you do? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Now is the time for BlackBerry to make a comeback. Are they bankrupt? I think they're bankrupt. Right?
They were everywhere, and yeah, people calling them crackberries, and I'm like, yeah, Matt, you're just like pounding away, like texting all the time. You just got your thumbs to text. That was, I never had one, so I don't understand why people.
It was like a businessman phone to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
like a celebrity
tech bro
yeah.
thing, celebrity thing. Yeah, not I don't know. I never had one, so I never understood what the whole fuss was about. But
Here's my question. I wonder what Nokia is up to nowadays. I mean, Nokia had like a 15-year head start on the phone game and really just like died.
they still make phones, don't they?
I don't. The last thing I saw they make was that one phone they made with Microsoft, but Nokia phone in 2025 could be the move. We should all move to Nokia. I feel like that would really lit a fire under Apple. Apparently they do. Think third world country type phone, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's racist, Winston. Stop
It's
saying
not.
that.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Listen, Vietnam wouldn't even use a Nokia anymore if you paid them to use it, to be honest. Unless you're a drug dealer. I think that's what people use Nokia for.
Yeah. They have burner phones.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, everybody have burner phone, right?
The new Apple iPhone burner.
Back to our TikTok. We had that discussion about Chinese food that sort of went a little viral. And then we got a bunch of really good comments talking about like Panda Express is not really true mall Chinese food express or whatnot. And
well, that's what we said. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you listen
yeah.
to the whole clip, we explained that.
Right. And they were saying like the ranking is like mall Chinese food, actual sit down Chinese food, and then Panda Express is, I believe. Is that not what it was?
I don't believe that.
What was yours?
I just said they're all equally viable.
Yeah.
They're all
But
good.
if you take like Panda is not quite sit down and not quite mall, it's in between. It's the thing that's in between.
But if you have to rank them in order of best to like least, wouldn't Panda Express be at the bottom?
I don't know. I think
What?
the spectrum of sit down Chinese is at the bottom. Because you can find good ones, but I feel like there's a lot simply because there are so many. You can go to any strip mall in America and find a hole in the wall Chinese restaurant.
We had a great one in Chambly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can be awesome. And it's just like but when you move somewhere, you got to test them all to find the good one because
that's facts.
There's 20 of them and 19 of them are
trash.
Yeah. And it's got
to do the research.
Right. There's one, the closest Chinese one next to me is
Shiti Wok.
It's Suxian.
Suxian.
I don't know. I call it suckin.
It's actually pronounced
because it's awful.
Shushan.
I don't know. I call it suckin Chinese food because it sucks. It's awful. I've recently tried it again. I was just like, it's been long enough. Maybe I was wrong. Nope, it's still bad.
Let me eat it again.
Yeah. No, it is true. Sometimes you do have to eat it to see if things has improved or if it's just you. Listen, man, I've went to Cane's 4 times now just to confirm that it's actually them and not me. Like,
4 is excessive, man.
I had to know. I was like, it can't be me. I'm like, it has to be
like,
the
maybe
food.
it was a bad batch day.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know.
And this time around, Brian, I went to the newly opened one too. They opened about a month ago, and we went to it. The air conditioning is way too cold, so we ended up sitting outside. The sweet tea was good as per always, and the chicken, man, just sucks. There's nothing to it. Yeah, it's just mid.
Yeah.
But speaking of back to Chinese food, I was gonna say, have you guys seen like a British Chinese food?
Weird.
Man,
It's
Brian, you've been to England. Do you have Chinese food?
I did not have any Chinese food while I was there.
Listen, man, English Chinese food is not real Chinese food. And to be fair, the English already have like bad taste in food. This episode is not gonna get any download there. But it was they always order like salt and pepper chips on every type of food. And I'm like, that's not even remotely Chinese. It's literally just fries.
That's right, man. It's
they
fries
they got fries with salt and pepper on them.
Yeah,
they go with everything.
Got the weirdest meat selections that you've never heard of, and then they douse everything in curry sauce.
Curry sauce. That's it. It was like, gotta get the curry sauce. It was like this customer got boiled chicken with salt and peppers, chips, and curry sauce. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys eating?
Yeah.
That does not sound good at all. Boiled chickens.
Yeah. Someone in chat said British Chinese food from Chinatown is good. Any food from any Chinatown is good, but I don't think the one in England is.
Yeah, what
better.
happened when it got beyond Chinatown? How did it get so bastardized?
Listen,
what happened?
There's this one girl. She's like, she's not Icelandic. What is? She's like Scottish, but like she's like an Asian Scottish person, like selling like
Asian?
Chinese. Yeah, I don't know. Scasian, yeah. She was selling like Chinese food like on her TikTok. We gotta plug it somewhere. It's so disgusting, but it's like I would watch it every time. But it's like Tony said, it would be the most random assortment of thing. It's like regular white rice with a layer of salt and pepper chips with like bell peppers in it. And it was like
Chicken balls.
Oh yeah, the chicken balls, whatever that is.
Again, what are you talking about?
It's like this customer liked chicken balls, and it's like
I need a description.
Yeah.
What are the chicken balls?
It's kind of like truck nuts.
Yeah.
These are fried.
Yeah. It's like whatever you say, sweetheart, and then they dump like a spoonful of curry sauce on top, and then just pack it in this like cardboard box container thing, and it was like
truck food.
I don't know, man. And then it was like this customer also ordered our special house sauce, and then she pull out like a clear tub and just pour like the most like sticky like black sauce into this container, and everyone's like, "Yo, she's serving crude oil."
The
But
secret
anyway,
sauce is the crude oil.
that's it. But I don't know, British Chinese food, man. I gotta take a trip out to England just to have their Chinese.
That's
food.
what I'm going. It's like we can make fun of it, but
Until we
try
eat
some.
it. Yeah, that's
I
it.
gotta try it.
I feel like there's a handful of British food that I feel like I need to try in my life.
Yeah, what is that handful?
So obviously British Chinese food is at the top of my list. I want to try
British Indian food is what I want to try.
Oh yes, I would try that. I want to see what their tikka masala is like out there.
They're spicier over there, you think, than here?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Apparently, some of the best Indian food you can get in the world is in Britain.
I will say Nando's is Indian chicken that was started out in England, and it's here in the state now, and you can have it. Amazing, 1000% recommended if you haven't had it already. But there's this other thing I believe it's called mashed pie, if I'm not wrong. It's like, I think it's called mashed pie. I don't know, but it has like peas and like. Have you seen this, Tony? You seen this on TikTok?
No, I was going to interrupt you before you continue.
No, go ahead.
Nando's is Southern African.
Oh, never mind then. Thought it was Indian.
No. Continue. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah,
want,
you're good.
Before our thousands of fans mob you in the comments,
Yes,
Yeah,
especially from that region.
But a mashed pie, Brian, I've seen a TikTok of it. It's like potato, like smashed potato with like some type of meat pie that they'll put on, and then they'll pour gravy on it, and then they'll put like some peas. It's a whole lot of bullshit on the plate. That's all it is. But I'm like, I would eat
delicious.
that. Yeah, I would eat that.
I'm looking at a sausage and mash pie that says cheesy mustard mashed potato resting on a layer of sausage and onions in a rich gravy.
Oh, sorry.
That sounds awesome.
First of all, totally not the same
No?
thing we're talking about. You gotta look
Okay.
up. I thought it was the same thing until I type in mash pie England, and it turns out to be pie and mash. That's the plate. It looks sorry as hell. Oh my god. Hold on. Can I share my screen just so Brian can see it?
Your sorry sandwich.
Sure.
Listen,
Sorry.
man. Here we go. Can you guys see this?
Ew.
Just look how like sorry it is. I'll eat it though. I want to see what it tastes like. But yeah, like I'm like, you serve this on a plate to a prisoner, and like they'll say no to it.
The colors aren't working, man.
That's it.
It's all.
But it's like a parsley gravy or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's got a look of mold.
That's it. Yeah.
England's doing stuff like chip buddies,
What's chip buddies?
where they just take like potato chips and butter some bread and make a sandwich.
What?
Yeah. I was
They
going,
eat some weird
wow.
stuff, man.
Wow,
They got
man.
like
It's good, man.
they had a watercress sandwich. Like
Ooh,
what?
not into watercress. Yeah. Ugh.
But wait, so Brian, when you went out to you've been to England, what did you have out there?
I don't recall anything too crazy. Beans on toast. That was
Oh God.
one
I
thing.
would try that. That sounds good.
Would
lot
you really?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's
It is,
I know
yeah,
I know
yeah.
the English breakfast is like a thing, but I'm just like
that.
all right, yeah.
That's
all right.
That's the most I guess local thing I can remember eating. I probably had shepherd's pie.
Okay. I would try that. Yeah, some
I
fish and
remember-
chips.
My mom would make shepherd's pie growing up, but she would use some like bagged vegetable medley
Oh ew.
for it that included lima beans, and I
Ugh.
can't do.
Wait,
like,
is it
I
called
would-
lima beans? I thought it was lima beans.
Lima beans.
Oh.
Yeah, the country is Lima, but
Oh,
the beans
okay.
are not.
Gotcha. All right.
I can't do.
The country is Peru. The town is Lima.
Well,
It's pronounced Ligma.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on. So your mom would make like
She'd make shepherd's pie with
Yeah.
lima beans in it, and I would gag it down.
Ew.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
What's wrong with lima beans, man?
I don't like them.
Yeah.
that's what's wrong with them. I think they're gross.
Yeah.
You said that like I was gonna make you eat some.
I listen. I'm having flashbacks.
The thought of it is gagging him. Yeah. So Brian, did you have some fish and chips while you were out there?
I did not.
What?
I know. I don't
It's
know.
like going
how
to
that
China and
happened.
not getting Chinese food.
I know. I don't know how that happened, but I did have shepherd's pie.
Did you have a
Probably-
pint of Guinness though?
I did.
I did hear that it's a lot better there than it is anywhere else.
I mean, Guinness tastes good in the cold, and it was
Yeah.
cold and snowy, and so it tasted very good.
Right.
I don't know if that was its proximity to Ireland, but either way, it was.
That's it.
It was good. What was funny though is like when you pour Guinness, it's got a very foamy head,
Right.
and I remember like ordering one, and then the person filled it up and then set it on the bar as the the foam was going down, and I was like, man, they didn't really fill my glass that much. And so like I go to grab it, and I'm kind of like bummed. I'm like, oh, that was a crappy pour, and they're like, no, man, we're not done filling it up. Like,
They were letting it sit.
they're letting it sit so then they could refill it. Yeah, it was
Did they had
funny.
the
I
little
was-
stick that they used to like swipe the
it
foam
didn't,
off?
It didn't go over the top. It didn't go over the top.
Okay.
They went, so
A lot of places are getting like specialized taps put in for Guinness so that it pours correctly. Like there's a whole art, it's a whole
Oh, really?
science. Even if you buy a can of Guinness and you pour it, there's science in if you get the little thing inside,
yeah,
There's
the
a little-
widget.
the widget.
Yeah.
It's like there's a science behind how that works and why it's in there. And
Or
it's
Guinness guys just like coffee bros and matcha dudes? Like
Yes.
basically.
It-
Okay,
yeah, it's
yeah.
not. It is not a far step from there at all.
Yeah.
yeah, because
You're gonna be pretentious as hell about it, right?
No, but
Yeah.
no, man, Guinness is good. I like
Yeah.
it. I don't drink it all the time, but I think it's pretty good.
Right.
well, like what happens if you drink too many Guinness, we're also going to black out here. It's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for, if you've been with us for 2 years, thanks. If you're join us for the next 2 years. Hopefully we're still going that long. That works if you tell a friend. Tell somebody about the show. We're still going. We're still here. Rate and subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss out on new episodes. Remember, downloads help us more than streams, but we appreciate you anyways. If you want to talk to us about something, join us live when we do these recordings, or you can send us an email at podcastxyz@gmail.com. You can also visit us on Instagram. We're on TikTok posting clips. We're on YouTube. You can subscribe to all those places. Our exclusive post show that we're about to do in just a few moments goes up on YouTube, so go join the YouTube channel. You can catch up with past episodes, the links to things that we've talked about here on Winston's Watch and Listen list, and go check out our store merch. All those links can be found at our home on the web, podcastxyz.podbean.com. With that, we'll see everybody next time.
See you later.
Yeah.